How many times did y'all watch it? Just am I the only person watched it more
Yes.
than once?
Yes.
I watched it once, but you could say I watched it 1.5 because sometimes I went back and was like, no,
Yeah.
what?
Okay. I was telling Ren that I either watched stuff for the podcast twice so I could watch it and then rewatch it and write and make the template, or I make the template while I'm watching it the first time and just keep pausing it, and the whole thing takes like 5 hours.
Makes
So
sense.
this is one
Yeah.
I did twice. So it's not because I loved it
I
that
don't
much that I
know.
was like, I gotta watch
I
it
think he
again.
likes it a lot, Tim.
Well, we'll
This
see.
is a
We'll
new
see.
favorite movie, man. Dude, 10 out of 10, life changing.
Something about those Komodo dragon dinosaur things. Anyway, if you could have one job in space, what would it be?
Bro, I can't be a scientist in space. I know what happens to scientists in space, man.
You
You end
know
up on
what?
an alien planet, and you're like, "What's this alien thing?" And then all of a sudden, you're, it's burning a hole in your chest. Space trucker though. I'm into space trucker. That sounds awesome.
I was thinking about how he's a
Yeah,
space trucker. I was thinking about like what's the least amount of work you can do and still be respected. And the transporter room was on Star Trek, but if you dumb it down to like the guy that gives people keys to away ships, and then I was like, that seems like a lot of work. There's an airlock involved. You get sucked out. The bar. I'm gonna be the bartender because you get to wear cool ass hats, and everybody takes your advice as law because you're black.
fair enough.
What about everybody hates this movie, Passengers from 2016? The bartender was a robot.
I'm taking our jobs.
Oh no, AI all
Taking our
over again.
jobs. This is what happens when a strike fails. All right.
Everybody's against AI. Like, what did homie from Kingdom Hearts do? I don't understand. I thought he did good in that movie.
Oh man,
He sees dead people. Leave him alone.
Oh, that was it. I can remember that movie to save my life.
I would be. Honestly, I don't have an answer.
Boo.
Look, I think I would be. I'd probably just work at like a McDonald's on the moon or something.
Moon Donalds.
Yeah, like
You can't
remember
get
in
sued for that.
Ad Astra, like they got to the moon and it was I think they also did this in Pluto Nash and it was just super like corporate.
You're not supposed to talk about that movie,
I-
man. Like,
No. If there's a Kevin Bacon thing for Eddie Murphy, I got one step because I met and have been interviewed by the man with albinism from that movie.
huh.
The albino gangster. He's a comedian named Victor Varnardo, and he's hilarious.
I thought Eddie Murphy didn't even like talking about Pluto Nash.
I think it
mean-
only made 4 million or something insane.
and it costs a lot more than that, even though it was all done on a Rugrats backdrop, like Nickelodeon Studios looking whole thing.
So that's at McDonald's, right? McDonald's in space.
Yeah,
Somebody got the flipper burgers in space.
I said Moon Donalds,
Moon Donald's.
and then I immediately thought of they got the quarter pounder, we got the negative gravity pounder. It's different.
I'll be the Cat Williams working at the McDonald's. Only person working at the McDonald's. Hustler.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That's in Grand Theft Auto 4.
Oh.
There's a comedy club you can go to, and Cat Williams is one of the featured comics, and he does the McDonald's bit. I was like, wait, make that money, my man. They made his like on-screen thing like really little. I was like, they went off.
That's funny.
The whole walking thing, it's all in there. I was like, get out of here. Good job.
Oh,
Then Cat got beat up by
7th
a
grader.
whole child.
I was gonna say, Tim, negative gravity pounder. I barely know her. Sorry, it's too easy.
Pretty good.
On that note, thank you for joining us today. If this is your first time with
I'm
us,
sorry.
we're the secret group of brown kids. Who are the secret group of brown kids? It's a secret. But you might be able to find us galactic road trucking, delivering foreign families to distant worlds to start new colonies. That's not weird, right?
What? Yeah.
Only if you ask, it's weird.
It's not trafficking or anything. They asked to go.
I mean, I was thinking about it, and I was like, yo, that she's... Anyway, we'll get to it. So, on the panel today, we got Tim and we got Ren.
Yo,
Hey, y'all again.
This week, we are doing 65. I guess it's a space movie, but it's more of a dinosaur movie. Whatever. Sci-fi action adventure. From earlier in the year, 2023.
lot of plot
From
questions.
65 million years ago.
Yeah, that's the joke, or not the joke, but that's the crux of it. Get it? 65. Anyway, the plot: an astronaut crash lands on a mysterious planet, only discovered he's not alone. Spoiler: alert, the mysterious planet is Earth. They tell you that in the trailer. Anyway,
See, they were in. Will Smith was in After Earth.
look,
They wanted to call this Before Earth, but he beat them to it.
I got a
slap.
whole After Earth conversation locked and loaded. I got it. Currently streaming on Netflix in the US as of what's this, July 2023?
Before they remove it.
Before they remove it, yeah. Tomorrow. Why this movie? Because it was on my list, and I thought we could laugh at it.
Because
at the least,
a bit.
It's because we had a nice Sunday off. It was streaming on USA Network. It was like 2 p.m. I was just sitting with a sandwich, it's perfect middle of the day cable broadcast movie. It felt like
Superstation, 12:05 instead of 12 even. Just getting
you
that.
took it back, Superstation. That was a disappointment going from Superstation to USA Network. What was the point? Anyway, directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, also written by, and you might know them as the writers for A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
And they wrote that with John Krasinski, and Krasinski directed it. But this is their, I guess, I don't know what number like feature film they wrote, but this is and directed, but so I can't say it's their first directing gig, but they are a duo, and they wrote A Quiet Place, and that's where you know them from. It's a Columbia Pictures movie. Sony owns Columbia, right? Budget was 45 million, and box office was domestic 32, international 28.7, so total of 60.7 million. So
everybody on the crew got $80. All right.
Yeah. I guarantee you, like 3 million of the 45 was for Adam Driver.
You're gonna have to pay me extra because it's a movie in space, and I feel like, hello.
Also, because he wasn't allowed to shower the entire time. He had to be the grimiest he's ever been.
Look, man, he fell into some stuff. I get
So
it.
what you're telling me is Ben doesn't die, and he takes up his dad's old job.
Hey, you're right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A galaxy far, far away, long time ago. I'm putting
His
the pieces
dad
together.
was a smuggler. He is doing this legally, we assume.
But he changed his name. He's low key.
He's now going by Mills. And yeah, Rotten Tomatoes. Get ready for this one. Critics 35%, audience 65.
I think somewhere between those.
I fully understand the audience.
Yeah.
And critics, I understand that too, because it's nothing special about this, so they probably didn't give a shit.
It's there.
So yeah, spoiler warning: if you haven't seen the movie, go ahead and watch it on Netflix. It's 90 minutes, real quick,
which was refreshing.
real easy.
It did not stick around longer than it needed to.
Yeah, if it was a 2-hour movie, I would have been mad. But real quick, so go ahead and watch it. If not, you just want to listen to our voices, by all means, stick with us.
Smooth, subtle sounds of me talking shit on a movie.
Ladies,
settle down.
Sunday. Oh, wrong guy.
But yeah, so real quick, without getting too much into it, how'd y'all feel?
I'm gonna tell you exactly what I typed on the Letterboxd review that I left.
Oh no!
There you go.
The movie is fine, but it is perfectly mid, and it is riddled with Chekhov's guns.
Constantly.
Constant. Like you watch something and you're like, they're putting a lot of screen time on this whistle.
They stretched some of them out though. I really did like that. Some of them they like stretched them out. You just barely forgot about it. So you're like, you got me. Mm-hmm. I knew it was coming, but I didn't see it coming. Good job.
In 65, what goes around comes back around. and you can count on it. But yeah, like I said, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. If you got some time to kill, I don't know if I would make extra time to watch this movie unless I really, really liked dinosaurs or Adam Driver. That's pretty much all the movie had, though.
That's a demographic, I'm sure.
Oh, sure.
I'm sure there's a feed for that on Blue Sky.
Oh God,
I've
please
been
no
putting
more.
every other movie I've been putting subs on to watch because I'm just kind of like old.
We're talking about that.
And
Not you being old, but like us watching movies with
Well,
subs.
then we talked
subs.
about you being old specifically, and we're like, man, he's getting so old. Like,
that's where I
Yeah.
am.
Did you see that old filter?
That was annoying. That was very annoying. I tried two more and it didn't change much.
I was trying to like do glass half full. I was like, Tim, Cerise said that it's a good thing.
No, she commented too. Like, but it was just kind of like, I guess I don't get to look way older or like, hey, that's impressive. It's just the same.
Your black didn't crack under AI. Be proud of it.
I tried a couple other ones just to see it. It was like, okay.
So from what I had heard, that specific filter is like exposure to blue light. So if you're doing it in a setting that has more blue light, it might not work the same as if you're doing it in a place with more orange light. No idea if I can corroborate that.
You were outside, right?
I was outside. A lot of times for a filter, I just go outside because I know they don't know where black people are. So, no. But yeah, I put the subs on, and it was very annoying that they wanted me in a certain place for the movie. They gave you all of Adam Driver's lines, but all of hers just said speaking in
Muscat or something like that.
Muscat, which is I think an Arabic language. So it was just like, okay,
that's a real language.
Yeah, I was like, you're just gonna leave me in the dark? Fine, that's cool. But I like a movie that just goes ahead and I see the language barrier. Just let me know what she is also trying to say. So I'm not gonna tell. It's not like I'm gonna tell him.
So curiosity, when did that new Predator movie come out?
That
Predators
was last year. No, Prey.
Prey, that's it.
Wait.
Oh, I heard nothing but good stuff about it. But I never got around to seeing it.
No, it was a lot of fun. They even had showings where like all of the language was done in like, I think the one that I watched was completely in the native language and then with subtitles.
I think I would almost watch that without them. Native language, no subtitles, and just roll. I feel like that would be like an interesting experience. I used to watch. Yeah. I used to watch some of the French films that I watched Run Lola Run that way the first time. I just took it in and tried to understand what was happening.
Oh yeah, you can set it because it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
And you could. That's the option that's one of the options for the subtitles.
It's just unfortunate that because Tiff, you were talking about how this movie was made years ago and then got pushed back a bunch for release.
Oh yeah, toward December. Filming started December 2020. So like, prime quarantine.
It would have been nice if they chose to trust the viewers to be invested enough to want to know what she was saying and not just like, oh, she only speaks these few words in English perfectly. It's like, I don't care about that. Tell me what she's saying. Like,
right. Just her frustrated. Where's my family?
Yeah.
Hello. That would have been kind of steep it up.
It's got that.
So it was a quarantine movie, and they had just the right amount of actors in it.
4. And there was probably like only a handful of people on set too.
Were there other people on the dockets? Were they fake? I think they were like CG'd.
They're usually just people on the set that they slide in.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Say, hey, John, put that boom mic down for a minute. Lay in this pod.
Oh man, I get to
that's the cinematographer and the writer.
I get to be Bog Body number 5 and the editor. Crazy.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's movie was fine. It was fine.
Okay, I
loved it. Life changing.
Like I say, I loved
10
it.
out of 10.
It wasn't life, but I enjoyed it. I described it as it was a good Sunday afternoon sit on a couch watch.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a ton of sci-fi releases recently that I can really vibe with.
Now that you said that, I have to mention that too. I have a soft spot for stupid little sci-fi movies.
Yeah,
so
I appreciate it, even though we find out that the movie is not about time travel.
Yep, which was news to me.
Which
it's news to all of us.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
How many times did he say kilometers? Like they just
so
have
that's
that.
the thing.
Look,
That's the thing,
look,
because we find out that
look.
really at the end of the movie where they reinforce it's just like, oh no, this happened 65 million years ago, but we have people that speak English and an Arabic language.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna get to
I'm cutting ahead. I'm sorry.
Look.
Snip that out.
I'm not saying the movie is this smart, but it's possible.
We're truncating.
It's fun.
Because I just had a thought, and I'll throw it out there after. So film starts out floating through celestial bodies, and I thought this was kind of neat. I'm a little I was about to say astrology nerd, and then I second guessed myself. I was, wait, is that astrology or astronomy? I'm not the one with the the horoscopes. Fuck.
I think it's astronomy.
It's astronomy.
Yeah,
me. Oops. I was about to sound real dumb. A little Jesus Christ, astronomy nerd. An astronomy nerd. And so I was like, oh, those are the pillars of creation, and that's I forgot the name, but it was like they're all notable like celestial bodies that you were floating through. Anyway,
I was waiting for your best Neil deGrasse Tyson, man. Like talking about cosmos and whatnot.
I'm laughing too much. It's been a minute since I did Neil.
It's okay. Just do it in a vacuum and then just insert it later, man. Just when you're editing. But yeah, he's flying through space, sort of.
Oh wait! I think I got it. As we fly through space on our ship of the imagination, we come across these celestial bodies that just, if I were to say, it is how I view God himself, just in awe of the universe.
Yeah, that sounds just pretentious enough.
Right? And now I'm going to tell you all of the flaws in Interstellar.
Oh God, we don't have enough time.
Oh my God, I cannot stand. Like, why are you ain't got shit else to do except being the well actually on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh my, that's actually what made me start to hate him. And then like I just started to pay more attention to just how pompous this dude is, and I was like, he's not a good person. Why do we listen to him?
I just let him do his thing, man. Like there's too many crappy people to really call out on a regular basis. So just like, okay, I see you.
Yeah.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I just don't want to hear you. Like mute.
Okay, so
and then the other day. Oh yeah, I was just saying the other day I popped in the new season of Cosmos. I watched one episode and I was like, that's about all I can take.
Enough space.
So movie starts when we're floating through these celestial bodies, and then we see the words, prior to the advent of mankind, in the infinity of space, other civilizations explored the heavens. Then we arrive on planet Samaris, and we see a family of 3 on the beach, and the parents are talking about the dad explaining to the daughter that he'll be gone for 2 years for work because they'll triple his salary, and then they'll be able to afford the treatment for the daughter who's sick.
So even 65 million years ago, we were still dealing with this like kind of privatized healthcare mentality of like, I have to leave my daughter for 2 years in order to have a chance to save her.
Yep.
It's rough.
It's wild.
65 million years, we still haven't beat capitalism.
This is a science fiction, and still bad healthcare. Anyway, so like we get to a tender moment with the father teaching the daughter how to whistle, and she says, I know you're leaving and it's because of me. And the dad's like, no, it's not because of you, it's for you.
Kind of the same thing, you know.
I mean,
split hairs.
I made barbecue ribs because of you, or I made barbecue ribs for you.
So
one of them sounds passive aggressive. You pick.
The daughter, we did see her later in D&D movie as well. Also a daughter to
I've seen her before, but I haven't seen D&D.
D&D was a lot of fun if you guys get a chance to watch it. Certainly more fun to watch.
I've definitely heard that was a good movie.
Yeah, absolutely. My kid and his buddies loved it. So, but that's a different podcast. We're talking about season
The
5.
guy with D&D in his name did not get to see the D&D movie.
You shouldn't have said that because then you gotta surrender it, man.
Yeah, now I gotta go do it.
Now somebody can fight you for the title.
I used to watch I used to love the cartoon, so I have to. Yeah, that's
You
right.
live up to your namesake.
A cartoon with a black person who didn't rhyme when they spoke. I had to.
So we have Adam Driver on the beach with his presumed partner and daughter. Daughter
Oh yeah,
is sick.
the daughter was she was the girl from Gunpowder Milkshake.
Oh,
She was also in that Batista movie, My Spy. That's where I recognized her
interesting.
from. But yeah, so then it cuts to a spaceship moving through space, and an alarm goes off, and the spaceship hits a chunk of asteroids.
Mhm.
And the father we saw earlier wakes up and he like runs to take control of the ship, but the damage is too much. The ship breaks in half, and we see like it loses its passengers in cryo sleep chambers as everything just crashes down to the planet Earth. And then Adam Driver comes to, and like he's dead. If we didn't say that already, but you know that. Anyway, Adam Driver comes to, like he tends to his wounds because he took like some shrapnel in the like belly or whatever. I thought that was going to be a bigger deal, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
They make mention that it's constantly like hobbling him, like they keep panning to a shot of it, but also they unnecessarily mic'd that entire shot. Like everything, like
no, it
squishy.
was sounding like a lot of goop.
Yeah. I don't know why they
It's
put
like
a
why
mic
does
right
why
there.
does this sound like the set on Nickelodeon? What are you doing?
Get slimed. Just,
Y'all were grossed out.
What's going on?
it wasn't even that gross of an image. It was just the
It was
extra
just the
full.
How'd you get that shrapnel in your side? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on here?
It was like the Blade of Immortal
Yeah.
fight scene. With
No, yeah, good
Or
point.
just when she's
all the good
pulling that thing out of her hand and like sticking it in his chest. Like, yeah, we didn't.
It's like, ma'am.
But yeah, so he suits up and he heads outside where he finds more dead bodies. Then he gets back in the ship and he gets to the computer back online, and it tells him flight trajectory interrupted, current location unknown. Then he sends a message out saying, let me see if I can do. I have a bad Adam Driver impression. It's just, no impression. It's bad. I was trying to get his cadence down because his voice isn't anything special, but like, this is the Zoic Charter, 3703. If anyone receives this, I'm the only survivor of a long-range exploratory mission. My ship was struck by an undocumented asteroid belt. But now it's starting to sound like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Anyway, so my ship was struck by an undocumented asteroid belt. I believe the debris to be from a smaller cluster from a much larger asteroid system.
Much
Can't
larger?
be sure,
Much
right?
larger. Interesting.
But he can't be sure. I mean, why would he say that, right? Anyway, we've crash landed on an uncharted celestial body. My ship has been severed in half. Confirmed 9 escape pods have been destroyed and 2 are missing. The atmosphere is breathable. All passengers are dead. Send help. And then he looks at a gun and he deletes the whole message and records a new one.
Nah.
And he says,
Like, I forgot how much I love to eat bullets. Never mind.
This is Charter 3703 long range exploratory mission. Asteroid field hit my ship. All passengers dead. No reason for recovery. Then he goes outside and he tries to shoot himself, or he thinks about shooting himself, but he just gives up and goes back inside and watches recordings of his daughter. And then he hears a beeping, and it's one of the cryopods, like it came back online or something.
Yeah.
So the pod's outside. Right?
Yeah. Something alerts his attention. But even still, like you don't exactly know what's going on in his background just yet, because the impetus of him taking on this job was to earn enough money to save his dying daughter, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you're just giving up. Like, that's not very,
like, what's he gonna do now?
Yeah. And then, later you find out why, but at the same time.
So like the way it's like shot, it makes you think he's like, oh yeah, my daughter. Because he goes back inside and starts watching
he's
pictures.
like, wait a minute, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Trucker brains. What was I thinking?
So spoiler alert, red herring. But yeah. So the pod is outside and he goes and he recovers the passenger, like a preteen girl. I think he says he thinks she's like 9 or something later on. Anyway, on the way there, he stepped on like some eggshells. And on the way back, he sees a giant footprint Then he starts to like hyperventilate because he realizes like, oh shit, like there's giant creatures here.
Mhm.
Oh shit! I'm gonna be surrounded by weird dogs. No good.
And like then we finally get the title sequence. I think it's like 17 minutes in.
Yeah.
65, and then under 65 you see
Million years ago.
yeah, million
Born
years
and raised
ago.
on a spacecraft is where I spent most of my days.
Shit, what was that one song? It's like once upon a time, long time ago. Just like, oh, okay.
Montel.
Okay, that's it. I can't say the rest because my kid
This is
might
how
walk
we
in.
do it in space.
So then we see made it back to the ship with the girl, and like she's still resting. And then Adam Driver continues his search for the escape pods, and he goes outside and he comes across a field with a dinosaur skeleton, and he soon realizes that it got killed by a periodic geyser that blew out acid from the ground, right? Like some like sulfuric acid or
Also,
some shit.
geyser, hot spring, something wrong.
Yeah. And after almost ending up just like the skeleton, like he notices the back end of the ship 15 kilometers away. And even in an ancient spacefaring civilization, they use the metric system.
And America still doesn't.
I mean, if it was America, they would have used football fields or some crap. Like, what's the distance between planets? It's like 100 million football fields.
That's like 15 F-150s. Just say kilometers.
Okay, wait, but how many bananas for scale? Like,
oh man,
that's less America and more Reddit, I think.
Yeah, I wish they just had a scene with Adam Driver being really serious. It's like the escape pod is 15 kilometers away and approximately 15,000 bananas for scale.
Or even just the kilometers. What the fuck is a kilometer? How the hell am I supposed to know? I need to know.
Pulls out the gun again. It's like,
if I have to use the metric system, I'm just going off myself.
I'd rather die.
15 kilometers. That's like 30 miles. I don't know what that is. It's actually more like 8 miles. What? Yeah. Why am I supposed to know this? Pet Kenobi.
Well, yeah, so then a little raptor jumps out and tries to attack him, but he beats it to death.
Dude.
It was like kind of rough though. It was like, Dad.
It was like he's like curb stomping a small dog, like a Shih Tzu or something. You know what I mean? Like,
hey man, that thing went for his neck.
yeah, I know, but
no, it was
him or the baby raptor.
I was thoroughly disappointed that he did not get a pet. A pet.
Like a Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yo, that would have. I didn't even think of that. That would have been neat. Like he had like his own little.
I thought that's where they were going with it. So,
look, psych. There's 2 baby raptor death scenes.
Exactly.
This is the
first. No, there was a Yoshi scene because it was like he kind of saves one.
No, the girl.
Like,
the girl did.
No, it'll come back. Yeah. And then it could have come back and saved her later in the movie. It's another Chekhov's. Chekhov's dog.
They were like
these little.
No Chekhov's.
These little raptors came and took it out. Dang.
Aww. Yeah, that was the one I would have been happy to actually see come back and but no.
Like he actually looked cute, and they get teared apart.
They're like no dice.
But yeah, so
director's like, God doesn't have favorites, and he kills the cute dinosaur.
The one cute dinosaur. But yeah, so after he beats the little baby raptor to death, he hears more rustling, and it's the girl he saved watching him. And then she tries to run, and he tries to chase her, and then they both slide down a little ridge, and they come across a half-eaten dinosaur carcass, and then they hear something large heading their way, and then we just see Adam Driver's hand snatch the girl, and it cuts back to the ship. So we don't see what's out there yet. But Adam Driver tries communicating with the girl, but she speaks a whole different language, and his translator's broke. His name is Mills, by the way, and the girl's name, according to the file, is Koa Ona. Koa is Hawaiian for warrior.
But she doesn't speak Hawaiian.
Nah, I didn't know it was a real language. Y'all said it's a real language?
I said Miss
I looked it up. It was a type of Arabic language, I think.
That's wild. Just that, like, they used a real language.
I mean, well, getting back into that too, because we were talking about how this is not Earth and it's not a story about time travel.
No. Here's the thing.
Okay.
It is Earth.
It is Earth.
But here in the beginning it says before the advent of humans or mankind or whatever,
Yep.
right? So you can surmise that these people are just early humans, and like that's how humans came to Earth. Like another mission came later on and found the planet because it was uncharted, and like that's where humans came from, and like that. And then you can argue that that's where the language and kilometers.
It's just
I was hoping that they just like whipped through a wormhole by accident.
Look, yeah, me too.
But-
That's what we thought. Like, what was it? Apes.
Planet
Mhm.
Apes.
Planet of the Apes. He just went backwards instead of forwards. Right? Was that Planet of the Apes, or
Mhm.
it was a wormhole?
Basically, every Planet of the even the original was kind of like they accidentally did something and whipped through time.
Got you.
Oh, what the hell is up with you dinosaurs?
Technically,
Oh my God, I'm from Boston.
This is me watching too much Science Channel. You can go forward in time by going in outer space and going really fast, and then because you're in outer space going fast, you're subject to time differently than people on Earth. So if you go out in outer space, go really fast, come back, you could be 200 years in the future.
Oh my God, was that Neil
Or
deGrasse
whatever.
Tyson?
Oh, shit. I thought
He got
he
it.
possesses me every once in a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. So there's a couple. There's like one thing I want to mention is that it feels lazy on the part of the art direction or whatever.
Yeah,
To be like,
I don't
it's
think they thought
English.
it out this far.
Exactly, but it's like it's
Mm.
basically a completely alien group. Even if this is like the predecessors of what the human race was, is like, oh, they have English and they have a form of Arabic, and all of like the buttons would be super convenient for us to understand. But 65 million years ago, it's like, okay.
This is what bugs me, that the miscat or miskrat or whatever is a real language. Because if it wasn't, then it doesn't matter that they speak English because it's a movie. But he made the other one a real language.
Yeah.
But also did not
Yeah.
apply subtitles or captions because we didn't need to know
Yeah.
what she said. Because I guess,
And now it's very othering.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Oh, she's just speaking gobbledygook.
anyone that speaks that language is like, really? Not us?
Yeah, they should have left it at.
It's like the beginning of the thing. Maybe it ruins it for you if
Just
you
leave
know.
it as a fake language.
Like if you know too much, the beginning of the thing, those guys are speaking a real language, and they just literally say, "That's not a real dog. Look out, it'll kill you." So that would just anybody that saw that movie from that language is like,
The dog's just
these
like,
guys are
Worf,
dead.
Worf. Just like, that's not a real dog.
I'm totally a dog.
Oh shit, dogs don't talk. Worf.
The dog shows up. Hey, don't trust those guys. I'm a real dog. And they're like, dogs don't talk. Fuck. He just starts killing them all. Well, now I know dogs don't talk. I'll go to another station, see what happens.
Dogs don't talk. It's like, oh, that's how it is?
I'm different.
Different. Worf.
It would scare the shit out of me if a dog was just like struggling out. I'm built different. And you're just like, take that one back to the take him back. We don't. This is not our
Just
dog.
go full Adam Driver and just beat that Shih Tzu to death with a rifle.
Is anybody arguing that was human speech? Obviously not a good. No, we leave that be. Okay, so they can't talk, but he's gotta tell her like, "Hey,
Yeah.
stick with me."
So he
We're
dumps
gonna get
out
outta
a bunch
here.
of red dye number
Paprika.
25 or something, yeah. And then
Yeah.
he's drawn pictures with his fingers because apparently 65 million years ago, that's also how we conveyed information.
There's apparently no pens.
Yeah.
The pens
No
weren't
pens,
invented yet.
yeah. They hadn't hit that level yet. Space travel.
Well, they had pens, but they didn't have ballpoint pens, so you could write in space.
It's the special ones. You have to pay extra for
It
those.
was in the back of the ship, guys.
Oh, hey. That's where I keep all my pens, too.
The back of the ship.
Yeah, the other half of the ship that's got all the pens and the paper. The fax machine.
There's a reason why that species died out 65 million years ago.
So yeah, he draws in the paprika or whatever the mountain, and he's like, we have to go up the mountain, and your family's at the top of the mountain, and then we can take the ship and leave. And she kind of gets it, I guess, but
She gets enough.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But before they go, Koa goes into his room and starts looking through his stuff, and she finds
Which was weird.
she finds the message files from his daughter, and she starts watching them. So even though she doesn't speak English, I guess she gets what's happening.
She was trying to find out if he had any games on his phone.
I found this one called Sad Girl.
Doesn't seem like you win.
No.
Yeah, so they head out, or he comes in and he's a little upset about it, but he doesn't snap on it. He just is like, time to go. And they head out. On their journey, we see some cute moments with Koa, like throwing berries at him, and this is actually my favorite part, like them like kind of bonding along the way.
Oh, you mean
the whole?
Are you talking about Chekhov's gun number 2?
Look, this is number 4. Her throwing berries, and then like he catches one and puts them in his little like water bottle / is my food safe
Analyzer
device.
That's a pretty cool idea, a food analyzer.
Yeah, and it starts flashing red, and he's like, no. He's like, no, don't eat. And like he does this thing like he goes, you eat, no, go down your belly, and like it was really it sounds stupid the way I'm saying it, but it was cute in the moment.
No, he very much was trying to get it across with very little context, like,
but
look.
also make her laugh. And
Yeah.
like she kind of did, she laughed, and then she got mad. She laughed and like gave him a look like, "You're not funny."
He's got the true title of dad because he has to convey information in a way that is dumb and annoying, but like
he went full dad on her though. He did go full.
He pulled
dad.
out all the stuff.
The whole movie, and like so, like the whole
Like,
berry
look at me.
thing.
I'm the dad now.
Like
I'm the dad now.
a giant bug landed on his neck, and he squashed it, and it was all. Was that the part you're talking about? Was it his belly that you were like, oh yuck? Oh
well, the knife in his belly, the shards in his belly sounded awful, but the bug was the same thing. Sound design was just kind of like, I'm bored. Let's make this real rough.
Really good.
They asked the Foley artist. They're like, hey, just go ham with it, and make it super close.
Right.
So like he squishes the bug, and of course it's gooey and disgusting, and like she laughs at him, and then he like trips and she laughs at him again. It was really cute. Like they get to a waterfall, and he tries to get her, or like he gets her to drink some water, but then she drinks all of it, and he's like, okay, well, fill it up.
Yeah.
Stupid kid.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, fill it
up. She finds a flower, puts it in her hair, and then she tries to give him one, and then it cuts to him with the flower. In his
he's like, no, I don't want that. No, stop that. Just stop. I don't need that. And then later on, he just straight up has it in his hair, like dad energy.
True to any dad. Yeah, it's like, no, I don't want to paint my nails. And the next scene is like his nails are painted.
Well, don't use the pearly one. Just the flat. Yeah, it's fine. That's good.
Just matte black. Matte black. That's fine.
That's pretty good, actually. Now you can't see the oil under my nails because I'm a dad.
I do like that they had the smallest, the food analyzer that doubled as their canteen.
Yeah.
Who's that for? Like that's a sip of water at best.
My explanation for it was they hoped you didn't crash.
Yeah.
And that maybe everyone on the ship got one.
It came out of the emergency kit with the gun.
Like, you've ever seen a first aid kit
with
that's
the gun?
The stuff's in here.
Yeah.
We're really hoping that you don't need
Yeah.
more than one child-sized Band-Aid.
Yeah. My emergency kit is for like earthquakes, and it's got like water and some bread and a space blanket and like a 45 because I always keep a gun in my emergency kit, you know?
We should have more stuff for like hurricanes and stuff, but I don't know what has happened to us when a hurricane is out on the ocean. We're just like, yeah, we'll deal with it when it gets here. Like, we're just blasé about it. It's not probably good. We have battery operated fans. Gone. We have a ton of water. Usually, like, as we get like water delivery, so we usually have like a overage of water anyway. we have a bunch of canned food and a couple of like gas things, but like everybody be tripping out, going to the store, freaking out. We're just kind of like, hey, did we get booze? We should get booze. We need bread and milk for some reason.
Oh yeah, you're West Coast, so you don't get the hurricanes, but like bread, milk, and liquor disappears when a hurricane's coming.
Yeah, I've seen social media posts usually every single time a hurricane
Figured
hits.
that people were making an igloo in their backyard with the bread and the milk. You know,
it all seems
stronger than
pretty
the house
rough.
you live in already. I don't know, or maybe a little boat. Maybe a little boat made out of bread and milk. We can just putter around and like look at the tops of everybody's houses when it finally full on floods. I don't know.
You know what? Let's just cut out all the emergency supplies and just have like a Lee Enfield or something. You know what I mean? Just get a rifle. That's it. That's all I needed.
38 for everyone in the house.
A 38 for every fate.
But,
who knows? The snub knows.
But yeah, and then after that, like we also see some of the dangers and like the Chekhov guns that you were talking about, and then we get the baby dinosaur part that
oh yeah,
rest in peace to Yoshi.
Oh man.
So then at some point his T85 calculator jank that he uses for GPS and a bunch of other things not drawing loses signal, and he tries to climb a tree to make sure that they're headed in the right direction, and he gets all the way to the top, but a bug lands on him, and then his big ass falls and hits every branch on the way down. And it's like 40 feet rolling. And Adam Driver, like, he's like 6'2", like 230 pounds. Like, I know that hurt.
No, like
it
he's
looked
just,
like it hurt.
He's just walking around. I mean, the shoulder thing.
Oh yeah, sure. This is my second favorite part. So all the commotion, it calls over some dinosaurs because they come over to investigate. But like the cool thing was he dislocated his shoulder, and usually in movies, like the strong guy is just like pops it back in and keeps it going. Mm-hmm. He tries to slam it back in by hitting his shoulder into the tree, and it doesn't work, and he keeps doing it. And then, but the dinosaurs are coming, so then he gets Koa to stand on his arm to hold it in place, and then he shoves it back, like he shoves his body down onto the arm. And like, that was so cool to me, because you never see, like, it's always in just like one quick pop.
I've
like,
seen
you
it.
never see them
I've seen
fail.
a girl do it in real life.
Oh shit.
She had some sort of ATV accident, so hers was like, it would come out like, she said she might have it happen twice a year if she was like too rough with it. And I guess
like her socket was loose.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what the hell we were doing, but she ended up.
This was just fall out on its own?
This was at the Gaylord.
Oh no.
Yeah, we were at the Gaylord, and she tripped. You know the one spot above the house that looks nicer for a little bit. There's those little stairs. There's like 3 or 4 stairs, where everywhere else there's like a whole flight of stairs. There's just 3 or 4 stairs. She tripped on it, and she hit herself on the railing. Like going up, she tripped, she hit the railing, and she rolls over. She goes, "Ah, damn it!" And she didn't even look like she did anything that bad. She's like, "Ah, fucking damn it!" And like she like gets up, and it's just loose. And I was like, "Good, what the fuck?" Like she was like, "Just no, it's good. No, I got it." And she does this thing where she like puts it up like this, and she like just keeps. Come on. And it's like, she's not in terrifying pain, but you could tell it hurts every time. And then she just goes, I got it. I was like, fuck.
What the fuck?
I was like, but she never explains, my shoulder came out and I'm trying to pop it in. She just goes right to it, sitting there on the stairs. I was like, what's wrong? She goes, oh, I dislocated my shoulder. Don't worry, it happens every once in a while. And I was like,
how messed up would you be if she said, "No, I was just doing the stanky leg with my arm."
But I was like,
a good time.
I was like, how often? Because I've been drinking a lot, and this con is only on the first day. This has happened like every day. I can't look at that again. I can't be. This is it's no big deal. She's also face blind, which I don't know how some.
What does that mean?
There are people who have face blindness. They do not recognize faces. That's what I'm told.
Okay.
It is kind of like the people who say that they can't envision things.
Oh, isn't
like
it
when they imagine stuff, they don't see things. They're all these things.
Bruce Willis, doesn't he have that now? Isn't like called aphasia or something like that?
I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's a part of his like dementia that now he can't
that's
recognize
wild.
people.
That's wild. And
Yeah.
this, like, it makes me kind of like aware of like I'm in decent shape, because it's like all these thoughts of like not being able to look at a person and tell them apart until they speak or have a mannerism that you recognize, or like the people that are like, oh, well, I don't imagine things. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
when you say McDonald's, do you don't see McDonald's? I was like, I couldn't handle it. I was like, I don't know.
I just had this conversation with Cherry.
Why the fuck did I say
her
McDonald's?
podcast co-host has that. She can't envision things, and she also doesn't have an inner monologue. And I was like I didn't even know that was a thing. Anyway,
I'm talking about cat.
Yeah,
well,
like,
I knew about the unable to picture things, but I didn't know about the not having an inner monologue. Like, you can't hear.
Like, when you're
yourself
thinking to
think.
yourself,
Like Austin Powers.
you don't hear, where's that dog? It's just,
I just beat that dog to death.
No.
If you can't recognize people's faces, that means you don't see racism either. Like, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm sorry, it's a bad joke.
I don't see color or face. I don't care if you're purple.
Literally.
Or generational trauma. I don't recognize that either. That's not a psychosis thing or whatever. I just choose not to see it. I choose not to understand it.
Okay, Leonard.
It's because I didn't write it on my hand.
Wild. Okay. But getting back to our friend Adam. I want to say Adam in space. He's not in space. He's on Earth.
Adam in space. I do want to mention, like, this could have been great. Just linking it to like Event Horizon. You know what I mean? It would have been excellent if we could have just been like, oh, what's that? A space station? That's how the movie ends.
Oh yeah, like little things like that. Yeah,
it was fun. But no, happily, yeah, we'll see.
And Will Smith shows up.
So yeah, we talked about the damn shoulder,
which is really gruesome to watch. It looked pretty horrific.
He was smashing it in there, and it's just
he was acting his little heart out.
And as soon as he pops that shoulder back in, grabs the gun, pop. But there's more of them coming, so he's like, he yells at Ko to run. So he stays back and he's shooting these Komodo dragon looking dinosaurs. Side note, bit of trivia. They were thinking about what dinosaurs to use, and the ones they wanted to weren't from this period. So they were like, you know what? Screw it. Let's, instead of just, because if we use a dinosaur from a different period, someone's going to be like, actually.
That's a good point.
So they said, we're just going to make up dinosaurs. And you know what? I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. We don't really know.
Because they didn't want to do the feathers on the raptors or anything.
Which is.
So they're like, we're already.
Kind of unfortunate.
We already aren't, sticking to the scientific, So might as well just make up dinosaurs. So they came up with these Komodo dragon janks.
I mean, I love the Stegosaurus, but apparently it may not be real. Like, what the hell is that?
Hold on, pause.
There's several dinosaurs that are technically made up.
But they just found. I've seen.
They were a lot of bones. There were a lot of bones,
and they just
in the wrong places. Randomly. And people just went, that must be the same guy.
Okay, I mean, I understand like what the Brontosaurus isn't real, and it's like. No, it's the Brachiosaurus or something like that, right?
Well, I know the Brontosaurus, that one's not real.
But like
maybe the Stegosaurus is one of the ones that I just got mad and was like, I hope the fuck it's real. I'm just gonna ignore it.
Okay, because me too.
But like, there's just so many.
The coolest one.
Stegosaurus and Triceratops are like neat.
Look, what were the Land Before Time ones? What's his name? Spike and Sarah and Spike. I need those two to be real. I don't give a shit about
Triceratops. Try Sarah, not me.
Listen. I lived my whole life, and I never put that together. Sarah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He's gonna actively try to forget it now too. It's like, nah, I can't live with that. I can't live with not knowing this.
That's why her name was Sarah.
Yeah.
Did they say that in the movie? And I just forgot this?
Don't forget about Terry.
Terry.
Pterodactyl.
Jesus Christ.
He's taking his headset off. He just pulled the meme.
Gonna fuck this shit. I'm out.
Look, I haven't watched it in 25
Excuses.
years. But Land Before Time was very significant. And I just now learning. I didn't. Anyway, now I'm mad at myself. Like, anyway, so Koa runs from the dinosaurs, and she ends up at like a beach. But then all these pterosaurs, or pterodactyls, whatever, land. All these Terrys land, and then she's like, ugh, can't be seen. So she slowly makes her way around a rock, so she thinks she's safe. But then more Komodo dragons pop up, and just as they're about to get her, pop, Adam Driver shows up. But one survives, and he drags her ass. Like, he drags her so far, and like Adam is like running for his life, and he finally catches up, and the Komodo dragon dinosaur finally drops her and like runs off. But like at this point, Koa's traumatized.
Yeah, she needs to take a minute to herself.
It's been a day.
Yeah.
Bruh. Like she don't he's like, look, we have to move, and she just isn't moving. She's like entering the fetal position. Like he's just like, all right. And he does, good dad thing, and he's like, we'll take a minute.
Give space, yeah.
So like one of the things I forgot to say, actually half my notes got wiped. One of the things I forgot to say though, that they showed some trap plants in this movie.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
They were real looking pitcher plants. I wanted to let y'all know that probably 80% of the trap plants you've ever seen, the little Venus flytrap, pitcher plants, all those, Wilmington, North Carolina. There's too much stuff from Wilmington, North Carolina. That's where those plants originate. Not just that there's a lot here. That's where they're from.
Wait, so you can just like find them in the wild?
Carolina?
Like, just go outside?
Not like you used to, but there's a bunch of wildlife habitats where you're not allowed to like pick them.
So
because they are indigenous to this region. This is where they come.
So
from.
this was 65 million years ago in Carolina?
Probably.
That's wild.
Or what became the ocean after the big rock hit.
Yeah, why not? They should have really set that in. I don't think this movie needed to be about Earth. You know what I mean?
They could have very easily said, "Oh, this is an Earth-like cataclysm."
Because
they didn't have to say it's the place.
Yeah.
I know I'm contradicting myself by liking that they just went ahead and said bump it and just made stuff up. But while I also enjoy the fact that it wasn't just dinosaurs we had to worry about. That we haven't. No, I think by now we see Koa see the asteroid, but she doesn't really know what it is. She just sees it. But we haven't gotten the Adam Driver noticing it yet, and he uses his Game Boy Advance to.
You
to
think
get
his
a read
BlackBerry
on it.
would have told him something sooner?
Yeah. Well, it just said anomaly detected, and he just kind of like, oh, that's weird.
Up.
Alert.
Something.
Yeah. But I like both. Like it added like another layer of like, oh, not just these dinosaurs, but now like we're racing against time too, because this shit is coming.
I did like that the time in this movie was really easy to keep track of. Only like 2 or 3 days have passed since they crash landed, and there's zero time for him to like recover from any injury. So it's just constantly accruing. He never gets time to sleep, barely gets time to eat.
At what point did you realize that the dinosaur or the dinosaur killing asteroid was also a character in the movie? Because it's like when we start out in space, well, after like we get them on their planet, when you first see the spaceship, a little rock hits it, and then it immediately goes into like a bunch of asteroids. And like I still didn't put two and two together until
much later.
Yeah, well, and then it hit me like, oh, the 65 million years ago. That's because dinosaurs were around for a long time. It's specifically 65 because that's when the damn asteroid hit. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot.
Like,
okay.
Why don't they ever stop? It's like, oh, here comes an asteroid field. Stop. The asteroids, they're not Like a lot of times the debris field,
I'm
that's
starting
not
to learn
moving.
that this ship's
Just
computer is an
turn
asshole.
around.
Hey,
Yeah, just turn
'Cause he was
around.
asleep,
Go up.
and the ship should have like figured that
Yeah.
out or automatically
hey,
diverted
man,
or something.
you don't understand what these space truckers got to go through. Okay, they're overworked. They're given rigs with like
Maybe
bad computers and no AC. Like,
maybe if it was a Volvo or something, but he just had a Peterbilt. Peterbilt's not built like that. You got to do a lot of stuff.
he was part of
The
the.
It's not even auto. He's got like a 32 speed.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is taking my body over, and this is the point where he's going to come out and say that actual spaceships
Actually.
are going so fast that they would just fly through the asteroid belt and vaporize the asteroids because they're going so fast.
The object at speed has more inertia and will likely. Yeah.
So
Also, I'm so full of myself. I'm not going to stop talking.
I'm the host of this podcast
Yeah.
now. This podcast is now Secret Group
I'm
of
the
Brown
captain.
Kids
And
at
Neil deGrasse Tyson in the cosmos.
No, he gets top billing as Neil deGrasse Tyson and
You're right. It's, you know what? I don't like the Brown Kids part.
And I don't
claim
secrets.
that.
I don't like secrets because secrets get me in trouble over time.
The new name of the podcast is now Secret Group of Cosmos, presented by Neil deGrasse Tyson. And I'm going to point out all of the flaws of this movie from this point on moving forward. So, after you listen to this podcast, check out my other podcast, Star Talk. Okay. I got Neil deGrasse Tyson out of me.
we'll see.
Okay. No more.
Also, I'm very disappointed that nothing significant happened in this movie at 65 minutes. Because that's what my ass would have done. I was like, I wonder if they'll Easter egg at 65 minutes. No, she's on one of the ends of the log when the one of the dinosaurs that chased after she saved the tar baby.
Wait, that's
no.
She blows it
Tar
up,
Baby,
right?
Tar Baby is way before. This is the part where she's been separated, and now she's getting chased because at this point she has the little baggie of, you know what I mean, explosives.
That's 65 is right around that.
But
the tar baby is much earlier.
Yes.
But she was
So,
65 is right before. It is more than.
Are we officially calling the dinosaur Tar Baby?
Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I just let it. She was pulling it out
I'm just making sure.
She's like, Mills. I named our dinosaur Tar Baby. You're not
Can't do
gonna. I'm not gonna say that.
Can't do that. Can't say that.
I'm not significantly brown. I'm not gonna do that. It's not a thing. No, I'm not gonna do it. Slams the wall.
So like one thing I wanted to bring up also, getting back into like the movie plot points, was they the two escape and then find a cave, right? Oh, sorry, I gotta let Neil catch his breath here.
No, keep going.
Okay. So they find a cave to hold up in. He's setting out his little perimeter lights in case anything starts flashing. The thing is, though, is that they both go to sleep, and he's having this hard time dealing because he puts on a holodeck or whatever of a video his daughter made to put Koa kind of at ease. You know what I mean? To know that she's not just with some strangers. Like, oh no, this is somebody I know. This is like a child similar to your age. And then, like, he's obviously still traumatized and trying to process.
Also, like, it shows her that he's not mad at her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it obviously he's still trying to process what we are coming to know about what happened to his daughter, which is the whole reason he was on space trucking mission to begin with. But at a certain point, the alarms start going off, right? And I'm not sure exactly if it was a proximity alarm for like large, clear, present dangers like dinosaurs. But then he turns over to Koa, and Koa almost looks like she's having a seizure. And you can't tell. Did she eat berries?
How'd you feel about this part?
I didn't like it because the thing is that, like, it's supposed to be 65 million years ago on Earth. But is the implication here that during this point in time, we had like parasites that would invade your mouth and cause you to start having a seizure and like gurgling? And he disposes of it so handedly that it doesn't really appear to have been a threat. So what was the point of having that in there? You know what I mean?
A little much because there's already like something coming, and
Yeah.
now you're having to like look over your shoulder and like
Yeah, like the alarms are going off. It's like, oh shit, what's happening? It's like, oh, there's a parasite in her mouth. Did that even exist 65 million years ago? Like, I don't know.
Hey, I mean, we now know that they made stuff up, the made up creatures for the movie,
Yeah.
so I'm fine with that.
mm,
But
Uh,
it wasn't. I agree with what you said about how it seemed real, like you just got it out there and then that was it.
yeah, that was it.
yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't have to carry her for like half a mile through the rain to the
Well, I guess she
ship.
did throw up, but still, like,
But yeah, no, he just
it's like
snapped a thing in half
anticlimactic.
and like
Yeah.
stabbed it, and then like she coughed, and that was it. And then they never
Yeah.
talked about it again, and it was never
Yeah.
a threat again.
She wasn't like, "Yo, what the fuck was
It's like,
that?"
I
Like
don't know.
there's literally parasite like that are in fish.
Yeah.
But they subside over the fish eating, not giving you a seizure and making you die.
Well, they also eat the fish's tongue, so they're
Yeah,
just there
that's-
chilling out
they
and
just-
catching
yeah.
whatever the fish decides to munch on.
Mhm.
It was real gnarly looking.
Oh
Though.
yeah, it's disgusting.
She just can't speak Miss Cat anymore. She just got
It's okay. They didn't see fit to give her any actual dialogue, apparently. So
yeah. So he doesn't understand me. So I guess I'll just talk a lot less.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So yeah, I'm sorry. And then sensors go off, like for real this time. So I couldn't tell if
Yeah.
the threat was because of what was happening to her
Yeah.
or what is happening now.
I feel like the
Do you think it was on
proximity things
purpose?
aren't really
tell.
clear on what their purpose
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I can't tell. I mean, I knew that when it was going off, my brain went to something big is coming.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which
And
is funny because
then-
immediately after,
It's
we
like,
have a
yeah,
shark
what's up
tooth.
with her? Yeah, and then it was like they looked into the cave to see what was coming. Which did I miss? I know
There was a
something's in
noise.
the cave.
So the shaft in the cave that goes further
Yeah.
down, like they hear
Yeah.
something come out of that. So they're backing
Okay, so
up.
it's both.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
you hear something
Yeah.
come from behind them.
And that was cool because it's raining outside, and there's just like a wall of water coming down at the mouth of the cave.
Yeah.
And the lightning flashes, and you see the silhouette of the biggins outside.
Yeah, and you just kind of see that
Man.
weird cover from the rain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the rain is hitting something that's
Mhm.
moving, and it's displacing where the water's landing.
Yeah, and it starts to stick his face in, and like the
Hey, y'all
the-
doing?
the rain
Hey,
the
hey.
rain curtain gets spread as he sticks his face in. It's just like, oh shit, it's a big old whatever. And
Not a dinosaur, because they would never say dinosaur because 65 million years ago, and they were different alien type human beings, had no context for dinosaurs.
Yeah. Who knows if they had?
I mean,
great.
yeah, he never calls them anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Just yeah,
In which case, like, I would call them monsters. Everything would seem monstrous and
it's a
alien.
monster.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Colin, get down. There's weird dogs.
Don't worry, I know how to
Adam
handle
Driver
this.
grabs the
Starts hitting him with the back of the gun.
Oh, I think we skipped around a little bit, but just to emphasize, you finally know that his daughter did pass away,
Yeah.
and he wasn't there.
when they fall asleep, he starts to dream, and we see his dream, and it's his wife telling him that she did pass, and then he starts like he was freaking out in the dream, and he wakes up calm. So yeah,
And then he gets to
he probably dreams that every night.
then he gets to freak out about his new daughter choking on a worm.
Yeah,
It's
Oh,
real.
so gross.
Life is hard when you're ex Sith.
He chose this
rough.
life, you know what I mean? It didn't choose him.
So yeah, so he grabs his gun and he shoots up the biggins, poking his head in, and he gets it real good. Like he takes out an eye, and he's all bleeding.
Chekhov's gun.
But then they then they run into the cave.
Yep. They go deeper in, and they got kind of lost
Braver
or
than me.
stuck. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, stuck.
People who go spelunking never gonna understand
Man,
that.
look,
Nah.
if you are in a documentary kick, watch The Rescue. I think it's on Disney Plus with about the is it Thailand they're in? The boys that
Oh,
got stuck in
yeah.
the cave.
Oh yeah.
The one
yeah,
that
yeah,
Elon
yeah.
Musk was gonna build a submarine to save, and then he called the dude who saved the kids a pedophile or something.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Awesome.
Well, you know what happens when rich people build submarines. So
You know what? Yeah. Should have told him to do it and just test it himself
go give it a shot.
in the
Look,
Arctic Ocean or whatever. You know what I mean?
Get out of here.
yeah, that's a really good doc. But it's just wild, like thinking, like seeing how they got him out. and just like I would just never go in the fucking
Yeah.
camp. Like I
Nah.
get it that they used to just go in just for fun, and they had extra time and they went in for fun, and then they ended up being like
Yeah.
miles into this cave,
Absolutely not.
Like,
and then
oops.
I'm on
If
man.
the only way to get me to go in there is by putting a T-Rex at the entrance of the cave that I'm trying to be
I
escaping.
went to the Mark Twain caves. It is a guided tour. They don't take you to the most dangerous part, but there are parts where you are in near darkness, and like Mark Twain went through that mug with a match. He would just light a match after the match went out, and they were like, "Yeah, see this deep section over here? He fell down there one time and had to climb his way out with no materials, and all he had was matches." And
Ain't
I
no
was
way.
like, somebody assumed Mark Twain's life. Don't lie to
Mm,
me.
Ain't no way.
He died, and somebody was like, "Well, Mark
In an account
was a
by Mark
prolific writer,
Twain.
so now I am." Well, that was when he was a little kid, though. Like, so all those
Jesus
cave
Christ.
stuff that he wrote about, he had like actual experience,
I'm good. Thanks.
which is like
Imagine
even the
not being
guided
afraid.
tour. I was like,
I watched The Descent. I know.
Look, that's all I think about. Look, there's lizard men in there. Like I'm good.
And just big ass pools of blood. Yeah, no, I know exactly what's underground, sir.
Look, I've seen that movie. But yeah, so they're in this part of the cave and they're stuck, and Adam Driver's trying to dig out, but he can't really. It's freaking rock, and he just has like a shovel, and he starts to like get upset about it, and Koa's starting to panic, or I don't know if she's panicking. She's just fussing about her family because I guess she sees him starting to give up, and he kind of snaps, and he's like, "Look, your family's dead." And he gets real defeatist about it, but she can't understand him no way. So he's like, he says, you can't understand me, whatever. And then he realizes he's still got the little berry bombs.
Yeah. Which design wise kind of seem like a liability, but there must be something that's only if somebody presses this in a specific way will this
It's got to
explode.
be, because when we see him show her how to use it, like it was like 2 presses or something.
Yeah,
So
but that's the thing, because later, okay, so wait. We're gonna back up a scotch. They're stuck in the cave, right? Like there's a dead end. There's air passing through. He's having an ordeal. He's having a crisis because he can't shovel enough stuff out of the hole to get them both through it. So he breaks down and he's like, "Oh, that's right. I have explosives. What harm could happen?" So he takes explosive. Exactly. Takes it, puts it in that weird channel where the air is coming through, and then it makes just a large enough opening for them to give me a huge panic attack. Because it's the smallest vent to have to like wedge through.
So he gives Koa the bombs and sends her in first,
just in case.
And
here's a bunch of explosives.
And of course, go in this tight hole and figure it out. And of course, what happens? But the freaking tunnel collapses. And rightfully so, Adam Driver loses his shit.
Again,
he lost another daughter. Like I felt for him in this moment, but then he hears Koa whistle. But for like 13 seconds,
Chekhov's gun.
I mean, I knew she wasn't dead, but like for 13 seconds, I was like, poor bastard. Like,
yeah.
But
we get the whistle. We get the whistle.
Yeah, we get the whistle. So he knows that she's alive.
You're supposed to be cooking up breakfast or something.
So I don't know if we touched base on it. He was attempting to show her the whistle back when she was having that mental breakdown at the beach after the pterodactyls.
Oh yeah, that's what.
And she's like,
kind of pulled her out.
She's like,
funk.
"Bitch, I don't know how to whistle." She does it herself, a different way.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't try to show her. He just does it.
Well, he and then
she
cups his hands together.
Like, "What you do?" And she's like,
"Look at it. Shit, son, I'm a scat." And she whistles back at him.
They go, whoa, whoa.
It's like, yo,
that's like alarm clock.
So he hears the whistle and he's like, all right, she's alive. And he grabs his stuff and he runs out. Then he encounters freaking cave Komodo dragon.
Oh wait, this one was kind of more bipedal, I think. You don't really see it. They decide to cut away and he drops his scanner. because he was trying to use this like a night vision. But
His game gear?
but this he dropped his Virtual Boy, and then he starts getting like roundhouse kicked constantly by this thing in the dark.
It was beating the mess out.
It's doing that thing where like, oh, I dropped my gun 5 feet away, and I can only get close enough before getting dragged back like 3 different times.
It wasn't even trying to eat him.
No.
It was just beating him up.
So he said, "Wrong neighborhood, motherfucker." And he just started going at him.
Fight back!
Like,
Bro,
did you hear the whistle? When you hear the whistle, you clear. Like you run. So Adam Driver gets out of there, and then he finds his way out of the cave.
He uses his NVIDIA to make some high pitched frequency, and it like chases the thing.
Yeah,
and he gets
you
out.
think he would have thought of that a few times before now?
I
like,
guess
come
not,
on,
man. Well, the thing that
the
other part that was confusing me was that like it was night and raining, right? When they went deeper down to the cave, but when she pops out the other end, it's broad daylight and clear.
I mean, they could have been asleep for several hours.
He was digging for a while.
Oh, okay, that's true. We lost track of time during that. So when he comes out, it's also fair weather skies and whatnot.
Yeah,
they're just separated.
Yeah. So now we see on Koa's end that like she gets out and she finds like a sharp dinosaur bone.
That was rad.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, oh, she's
half her size.
Yeah, she ready to go.
Yeah. Not only did she find this sharpened bone, but
tell me what she did. Tell me what she did.
She coated it in the berries that we saw
Chekhov's
earlier.
gun.
Yeah, because he told her that they're poison. Don't eat, no eat.
It does bum me
Chekhov's
out.
claw.
It does bum me out though, because it's like they didn't really make use of it being a poison. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When that comes up later, like you'll understand. But yeah, she is effectively trying to poison this gigantic spike of a claw, which doesn't look like so much a claw as it's just a literal spike.
Yeah. So
it's like a long shark tooth. Like, where'd you get this? What did that come out of?
A log.
Hope he's not around.
Yeah.
Or was it a claw? Was it a claw?
I couldn't.
I don't know. It looked like a bone.
I'm gonna say a claw,
but it looked like a claw. But I think it was. I don't know. Whatever.
The thing that would have come off of though doesn't even make sense because it wasn't hooked. It was just a spike. You know what I mean? That looked like it was like a growth almost off of something.
Let's just hope that thing is dead. If it was a part of an animal,
it's dead now.
I guess it could be.
I hope he don't come back. Hey, where the hell is my spike at? You can't be using my spike.
So she makes her weapon, her murder weapon, and she heads out, and then immediately one of the little annoying ass baby raptors pop back up.
Not the cute one, her. Not the cute baby.
Yeah. No, there was only one cute one.
I'm not saying that thing you called it, but
look, rest in peace to Tar Baby.
That's all you, my guy.
But the little annoying baby raptors that been gnawing at him the whole movie.
Yeah.
And instead of using her new murder weapon, she says, "Nah, I got something for him." And she uses the rest of the bombs to blow.
She uses them all
unnecessary.
All at once.
So we were talking about like the safety features on those bombs. It's like, okay, this seems like a liability. How do you trigger it to explode? It's like you got to press it a really specific way, unless you drop a whole pouch of them at the same time. Big difference. You know what I mean? You're just sitting there clacking around like a sack full of dice, dude. I don't know.
They're like the bullets from Roger Rabbit. They're like, it's our time,
Wait,
boys.
It just dawned on me. Maybe they're like fingerprint enabled or biomet. I don't know. But remember, his gun would only shoot if he like set it up properly, and his thumb had to be in the right spot. Maybe it's like that. I
think it was a pressure thing because one time he had one activated and he squeezed it again and it went off. It stopped. It was very simple to turn back off. He didn't look stressed at all.
But the thing is that's like she just dropped it.
I wouldn't trust it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think if she even set off one. I do think he did show her how to do it.
Yeah, he did before the cave.
I thought she just took the whole sack
before the tunnel.
You know what I mean?
She primed one, put it in the sack, and then
okay, I missed that.
But that's still a big waste of those things.
I mean, one would have done the job, but I think she was just really fucking sick of these little animals for taking out baby Tar Baby. So it's like, I got something for your ass. Boo!
It's an extreme prejudice.
Oh. Yeah, so that's what. See, we thought it out. Yeah, she was angry that they took out her pet.
It would have been easier if they gave her some dialogue.
Yeah,
You're right.
I don't know.
because she'd have said something like "fuck you, motherfucker" in it's not Farsi. I forgot the language.
Miscat.
Miscat.
So yeah, so she blows up the thing. Then Adam Driver on his side, he's out the cave and he's hauling ass. And what happens? Fucking quicksand.
The one time
Like,
he
bro.
forgot the life lessons as a child. He's supposed to be afraid of quicksand.
Well, but he's not from Earth, so maybe he'd never heard of that in a cartoon.
That's true.
Maybe they don't have cartoons.
They're an alien super race that can understand
knows kilometers.
Yeah, they know kilometers and space travel. Never a fear of quicksand or dinosaurs.
Hey, it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah. So while she is contending with this little velociraptor asshole and wasting all of her ordnance on literally turning this thing into paste, he is fighting for his life in quicksand, basically.
Yeah, well, first he uses his Windows phone to to see that the asteroid that collision is imminent.
It's like, let me check my Zune. I'm like, huh?
Zune. That's
I want you to know that I didn't even have to get up.
Jesus, man.
I was gonna use one of those as like
Gen
my
1.
on stage backing tracks at one point. I thought it'd be hilarious.
I got a Gen 1 and a Gen 3, and I swear by them. I love them.
The Gen 3 was pretty good.
I used one.
It came with Audio Surf.
Oh, wow.
You remember Audio Surf? So it was cool to play that on the... Anyway, yeah.
Adam Driver's in the mud.
Yeah, Adam Driver's in quicksand. He sees that collision is imminent, so he's running even faster, not looking where he's going. And then boom, quicksand, and he's screaming, Koa, Koa, and he's starting to sink, and he goes under.
Bloop. We got the face shot.
Yeah. He goes under, and like it was like 15 seconds past. We're just like, oh,
something. Yeah, well. Yeah. You don't hear anything, and you don't know what's going on with her, and then all of a sudden,
a branch comes in, and you see her like leaning, like sitting on the branch to push it down, and he pulls himself out, and then he's happy, and he tries his best to explain to her that we gotta move, asteroid coming.
Not only did he get out of the quicksand, the gun he had came out of the quicksand. His Apple Play came out of the quicksand with him too. All of it came out together.
Everything came out together. Like he made sure he got it all. So it's like nighttime, they're still going, and they get to like a cliff face, and they can't go around the cliff because they hear like dinos behind them. And so he like helps Koa like scuttle her way up. He'd given her some rope, and it's just like tied around something safe. And she's taking like 5 minutes, and he's just like, what's going on? And finally the rope comes down, he pulls himself up, and she tied it around everything safe. It was a funny little moment. Like,
right,
there's a whole like she tied it around everything, and he's just like, good job.
Like a proud papa.
Like, yeah, it's the safest we've been the entire time. You good double check and triple check. That's not going anywhere.
At first I thought she built some sort of pulley system. It wasn't even a pulley system. She's tied it around everything. It's a lot of rope. But yeah, so then they make it to the other half of the ship, and Koa starts to freak out because she realizes her family is in fact dead.
I thought she was upset because she found out that he had been hiding Fast and the Furious DVDs, and she could have been watching those
on his portable DVD player the whole time.
That's
I thought we were family.
That's the best format for watching movies, right?
Right? Just as Justin Lin intended. But yeah, so freaks out about that, and like to get her to calm down, Mills admits that like his daughter is also dead. I mean, I know that sounds kind of funny, but it made sense when I was watching.
No, it really took her a minute, but she's been watching these little tapes and whatnot this whole time. She understands who that is to him. She gets that, but now like to understand that like she's gone and he doesn't have anybody, he's just trying to help.
Yeah. So like, yes, your family's dead too, but like I needed you to have something to like move for, and you are the reason I was doing all of this, so I needed you to have a reason to move because you don't know me, but we're here and we can get off this ship. And then 2 T-Rexes show up. The escape pod, like half of the ship or whatever that they're in, falls off the mountain
because of the falling debris from the asteroid is that close now.
Yeah, so
that
like it's starting to shake the ground,
Mhm.
and that unwedged part of the ship that they're in, and that ship falls however far. But now the pod isn't in the proper orientation for it to take off, and 2
Design
T-Rexes
flaw.
show
Design flaw.
up.
Design flaw. You don't know. That could have been. Come on, design flaw.
And there is no orientation needed in space, right?
Right.
So
In
it could
space,
just
no one
go.
can hear you orient.
So
So the ship's in a bad orientation. They're knocked out for a little bit.
yeah, they come to 2 T-Rexes are there. Adam manages to unbuckle himself and gets out, and he sees the gun is on the floor outside. I don't know how to. I guess the gun didn't make it into the pod, but it fell when the rest of the ship fell or whatever. So the gun is on the floor outside. He unbuckles, falls, runs and gets the gun, and he like takes some cover, and like one T-Rex goes for him, and Koa plays the
video of his daughter.
the video of his daughter from his iPhone 65, and it's like his daughter saying "I love you,"
That's like
yada yada,
really
whatever.
brutal too, man. Like he's already having to
Yeah.
process the death of his daughter, and we're doing that with him. But now he has to watch like a hologram of his daughter get like munched by a T-Rex.
Yeah,
because
so,
that's
like,
a distraction that allows him to get the gun.
Right.
And it's just
Good
like
move.
The
Smart.
words is what needed to like get him to like motivate and like, all right, gotta take these T-Rexes out. But also the T-Rex munches on the hologram.
So
multiple times, like, dag.
Yeah.
What? How in the world?
So
one other thing, Chekhov's gun.
Oh. Wait, the whole hologram?
Oh yeah. You thought it was just a thing. No.
Yeah,
no.
no.
It's a plot
they've been
device.
using it this whole time.
We
told you
to know
it was
how
going
it
to come
works.
up.
Yeah, it's just
it wasn't
to get
just
him to
projected
sleep.
on the walls, a full-on hologram.
I gave you
Check
all the
that out.
clues. Yeah.
So he takes out one T-Rex, he shoots the shit out of it, and the other one, because of like the other one tries to attack the light coming from the pod, and in doing so knocks it over. It's now able to take off because of the orientation. And then with the bullets left, he shoots the shit out of that one too. So he kills both T-Rexes with his gun, but now he has no bullets left. And everything's hunky-dory, right? Psych.
Oh, damn.
Guess who's back?
Scar.
Yeah, Scar. Be prepared, right? So the dinosaur from the cave that stuck his face in that he shot up.
Yeah.
He comes back, face still messed up, one eye, and he's angry and he's ready for revenge. And we also see that it's not just the T-Rex, because the way they're designed, you think it's a T-Rex that poked his head in.
Yeah.
Nah, he's one of the Komodo dragon janks, but full grown. So it's like a T-Rex, but with arms.
Yeah, like regular size arms.
Yeah, it has that weird like displaced shoulder thing where like it's walking on all fours. It really difficult to watch, kind of gross.
I loved it because it was just like, oh, a third T-Rex. Nah, this T-Rex
was like,
been to the gym.
He's got pecs and like delts and stuff.
Like Adam Driver
he's like,
immediately
I
is like,
don't even skip leg day.
Because he's not bipedal, he's
quad
pedal, so every day is a leg day. That's funny. But yeah, so Adam Driver knows like ain't got no bullets. This dude wants revenge. Everything is bad, so he just turns back to Ko and is just like, launch the ship.
just bail.
It's like she doesn't speak English.
And he just at this point they're bonded, right? Like they're surrogate father-daughter. She gets the vibes.
Yeah, I remember when my dad yelled at me for not holding the flashlight correctly, and then he said, launch the ship, and I said, what?
You knocked all the nuts out of the hubcap, and he just goes, fudge.
Oh man. So Adam Driver's hauling ass, and the big Komodo dragon he's chasing leisurely, I guess. And we see him get out of the trees, and he like messes his ankle up or something, and he falls.
Every
and he
5 minutes, man.
Look, he is so messed up. Like
been stabbed,
bitten,
he got
fell out the tree. Like it's man,
dislocated his shoulder. Now his ankle's
he had
jacked
the
up.
Fight
twisted.
Club dinosaur beat the hell
Yeah,
out of him. Man, he is. Oh look, he got look.
If this is your first time on planet Earth, you have to fight,
Right? His whole trip, he had to fight. Anyway, so he looks up and he sees a field of the geysers from earlier, Chekhov's geyser, and and he was like, "All right, I know what I got to do." He gets up, hobbles as fast as he can because his ankle is messed up, and just as giant Komodo is about to get him, he like jumps and a geyser catches him and kind of knocks him off, or
that's
the
right.
geyser catches the dragon.
Favorite scene coming up.
But it didn't kill him. It just
probably
like
because it just knew, oh, these things suck.
Yeah,
and it probably pulled back.
yeah. Pulled back. So
but you don't know that as the viewer. You just like, oh, everything's fine.
As
and
a viewer, it's like,
yeah,
gratification.
And like then you see Adam Driver on the ground, and the thing's still alive, and
The
it's
guys
coming
are-
closer.
Womp womp.
The guys just missed.
Yep, and it's like, okay, well, no bullets, foot's broken, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And just as the dinosaur comes in for the kill, right into the one good eye.
Right
murder
into
weapon.
Check
Cole
the-
with the murder
check-
weapon.
Chekhov
Yeah.
stabbed.
Cole pulls out the Chekhov shank, covered in poison.
So this whole time, I mean, I don't think it's definitely not the same like geyser field or whatever from the first one. It's a different one because that one was 15 kilometers away.
Right.
But he at least had to run out of the forest and into the field, so it was still a little bit of a run. So this whole time he was being chased by the dinosaur, and she was chasing them.
She hopped out the ship,
Got her
pulled the
murder
shank
weapon.
out of her Jansport, and just came over like, I got this.
Oh man! And I don't know if you caught it, but she had on like Balenciagas. So I guess this
I'm seeing it right now,
civilization had on some Balenciagas. So like, she was good.
Like designer puff sweater vest. Like,
look, hey, the dinosaurs were wiped out, but the drip is eternal. That's all I gotta say. So she comes, stabs him in his one good eye, with a little bit of poison damage, I guess. And
yeah,
he kind of stumbles, like, as you would if you got stabbed in your one good eye.
Sure,
okay. Then he lands smack dab on a geyser, or the guy, like, whatever. Geyser comes out and gets him for real this time.
He got good.
And
real good.
Melts his fucking face.
So I had to rewatch that scene just to see like the face. You know what I mean? Just that melted skin and everything.
Gnarly.
It looked really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With that said, though, what was they made such a thing about like, oh, she knows that the berries are poison. It's poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison.
The poison.
But the same thing, it's like it didn't do anything because she stabbed in the fucking face. Like, you could have stabbed with anything in the face, covered with like canola oil. It's still gonna die. Like,
yeah.
It makes me think that there's another scene that got cut, or it could have went either way, and then they changed it.
Mm-hmm.
So then, but they left it in because we still have to see her getting the shank, and it just made it for a better.
She did the anime move where she announced her presence, in the middle of the. I was like, "Who does that? Don't do that."
So I could smell you coming from downwind.
Like you just like having a street fight in the alley where you're like, desperate punch. Like, what the hell are you doing? I ain't fighting this dude. He yelling out desperate punch. Please leave this alley, kick.
But yeah, so she saved her stepdaddy, and they make it back to the ship, and they take off just as the asteroid is hitting Earth.
Like
literally. It was two ships passing in the night.
It is a real lock your doors in this neighborhood moment.
I get that they only had 45,000, and a lot of that was probably just spent on the special effects. But I wish it was like we just got like 20 more seconds of asteroid annihilation.
Yeah.
Like it was just a beautiful shot, but it only lasted like 5 seconds.
You need like just a couple more dinosaurs being like,
man,
what you doing tomorrow? I guess nothing.
Like, you ever remember the meme with the asteroid coming, and it's a T-Rex eating a brontosaurus, and he's screaming and "Save me, Jesus!" just 20 more seconds of that. Some pterosaurs or pterodactyls or whatever. Just like, oh shit.
God, today is terrible. What? Nothing could be worse than this.
Explosion.
But yeah, so they made it off, and like you see Mills, he starts to tear up and he's like thinking about his daughter. And I remember when they got off, I was like, he needs to grab her hand. He needs to grab her hand. I'm mad. Why isn't he grabbing her hand? So he knows that, or so she knows everything's okay and they made it. And he's in his head thinking about his daughter, and he tears up and she grabs his hand. Oh.
See, I'm just making, you've been through a lot. I'm just making sure you're not dead, because if you die in here, that's
Dude,
like,
yeah.
ugh.
She gives him a look like you good? You good.
You finally get a moment to
Yeah.
relax. You just fall asleep and shit yourself in
Right?
space.
Because you know he's bleeding internally. Like, bruh, if it wasn't from the tree falling out the tree, he's definitely bleeding internally from getting beat up in the cave.
I like to think when they finally were recovered, it was just kind of like, hey, bro, next time if you end up on a desolate planet, let me show you here in my rig. This button right here, that right there, that costs us immediately. We'll be here in 45
Just AAA.
Like, what?
Is it OnStar?
I didn't know about that. Yeah, you sent a message, but that was to the regular line. Nobody checks that over the weekend. And that button right there is the emergency. I can't believe you missed that in training.
As
my ship was ripped in half.
Yeah.
But were you in the cockpit? Yes. Then it's right above you.
Hey,
bright red.
you never know, man. They might make those
I
ships
just thought
like
that was the light.
Teslas. Like, it's like the door handle's right there, but if your car is on fire until you lock down, you got to press the extra secret door handle button underneath the thing. Like,
You know, at one point someone had convinced them that you shouldn't put like fingerprint buttons on the outside of the doors. Like all those nerds were like, this will be a cool way to get into your car. You won't even need a key.
well, half the time they're just jerking each other off. So,
Or we could not do that, and people could get in their cars when they wanted to.
They just needed Neil
that's
deGrasse
weird.
Tyson to tell them that, and like with the air of superiority about it.
Actually,
I'd actually kind of enjoy if my car was fingerprint scanned, because I have no fingerprints because I had to burn them off because of bad things I've done. What? Cosmos.
Let's see here. So with some of the things that they chose to do in this movie, or just kind of like irked me, because we're talking about, not making it Earth, for example, just making it Earth-like. When it came to how many injuries he incurred, it's like they've already established that he took a shrapnel to the gut, and then they used another establishing shot later to show that it might have been covered, but it looked like he was getting infected. We could have easily just leaned into that and have him hobbled by that and handicapped by it, instead of saying, oh, and he fractured his ankle. Oh, and he dislocated. It's like, I get it. He's already getting beat up, but we don't really see that the thing that they decided to highlight, which was that.
Yeah. They
stomach
emphasize
wound.
it one time.
Yeah.
There's a point where he's like hobbling, and she like looks back like, "Are you all right?" And he's like, "I'm not tired. I'm fine. I'm okay."
Yeah.
And he just oversells it to a person who does not understand English.
Yeah. And she's like,
I'm
I
not
think he's
dying
okay.
I'm not dying of a terrible wound. I just,
it's getting water.
It's just a day.
Resting.
Yeah. So
I like to walk slow sometimes.
So there were just some choices that they made, because like even then you want to justify not using actual dinosaurs because you don't want to have to worry about Reddit dude bros and armchair scientists saying like that wasn't there at that time. It's like, okay, I think even still, I wish they went bigger on the insects, because the idea was that oxygen levels were a lot higher back then, so insects would get huge. I feel like they could have made that a very pertinent threat, instead of being like, oh, you got a mouth maggot. Those mouth maggots, they do a thing. They're really easy to get rid of, though. You just kind of gag yourself a little bit, spit it out.
Poke them.
Yeah, it's fine. They literally explode out of your mouth. So yeah, just me being
Nickelodeon gag.
Yeah. Cool.
Technically, we got 3 bug moments. We got mouth maggot. We got the big squish, and there was a bug that made him fall out the tree.
Yeah, but I mean, those weren't bigger than like a rhinoceros beetle. You know what I mean? That we have now.
That would have been fucking scary.
Well, no, what would have been worse would have been like, dude, fucking like a praying mantis the size of a dinner plate. Like,
no. Oh
Absolutely not. No. That'd be
Oh, oh.
horrifying.
It's like, hey, I'm Jeff the praying menace, and you're like,
Dude, that fucker was so
you
big,
live
they
over
gave
there
him a name.
later.
They gave him a name. Like, he's 6 feet tall. he's also
Those were-
the only other talking character in the movie is Jeff the Mantis.
He's like, he cares about their conscience.
They gave him captions.
Like, should you guys be killing all of these dinosaurs? You're not even sure they're bad.
Is that Jimmy Stewart?
That's basically their reason.
Oh.
So what was your favorite scene if you had one?
I like Tim to go first because I actually need to like ruminate on this a scotch.
Oh, I did like the team up scene with the Spike. That was like,
Oh yeah.
they built up to that really well. Like it's kind of like when you play a video game, and you learn this and you learn that and you learn this and you learn that, and then the last fight in the game you use all of the things. So that like moment felt very much like that, where it's just like all the stuff you had been kind of like, oh, the geyser, I remember the geyser. Oh, the Spike, I remember the Spike. Oh, the dinosaur with the one eye. Okay, we're getting it. We're getting really good. We just needed a bug to land on the dinosaur's neck and it to be like,
Yeah.
and then you get stabbed. That was really good.
I liked what they did with telling what happened to the daughter, because it wasn't just immediate. You were still under the presumption.
Oh yeah,
he
yeah.
was-
Because
yeah.
the way they played it in the beginning, it made you think like, oh yeah, I have a reason to live.
Mhm.
My daughter, let me keep going. And then
And they just kind of like release little bits of information that let you know it's like, oh, he's still traumatized and still trying to deal with that layer of guilt. They really wrote the mom out though. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
wanted to
nothing.
mention that the only bit you get after the opening scene is
You don't
this
see her face.
dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see her face. You just hear her in the dream saying that the daughter passed away.
And he's probably gone for another like 6-8 months to a year. So she's
He's
just
still
like,
in the middle of the same trip that he left to try to save his daughter. And on top
she's
of that,
like on Earth
he
doing
didn't want
bad.
to go, but his wife convinced him. So like we don't even get to see what like how he's processing that as well.
If it was my decision, I would have made the wife more of a character. Like, at least I can still get back to my wife. At least I still love my wife. Something about my wife. At least seeing her again, right? Like, it's never easy to lose a kid. You know, not saying from experience, but like anytime you watch that, I understand like they go through it.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty heart wrenching.
Like,
what
you
they do show
don't
you.
gotta completely leave the wife out of it. But I think they did it just to put emphasis on how important the daughter was, and thus how important Koa is.
Yeah,
but
I get that.
I still wanted the wife.
Yeah, it would have been nice for her to pop up. What did you have a favorite?
Oh, mine was what did I say? I
Oh,
think I said
you
it
talking about
before and I
favorite
already
scene?
forgot. Skip that part from me because I feel like I said it and now I can't even remember what the hell I said.
All right.
Okay, so second favorite scene though was the boiled T-Rex. Because I actually rewound it to rewatching and I'm like, huh, okay, that looks pretty good. Oh, Komodo dragon.
I
Sorry.
think one of the things I read was that the T-Rex, I don't know if but there's a T-Rex and then there's the giant Komodo dragon. But it said the T-Rexes in the movie were more based off of the V-Rex from Peter Jackson's King Kong because they had like spikes and stuff. But I didn't even catch that.
Those were cool.
I don't think I watched that one.
That was as good as American kaiju we're gonna get.
Yeah, I think I saw Peter Jackson's King Kong like 10 times.
It was one of those. It was a little American, but it was fun.
It was one of those. This is the movie we're going to play at the end of the school year movies. So I saw it a bunch.
That's pretty good.
I think it's not a specific scene, but I guess it kind of is. When they first set out and they're walking and they're, funny little dad-daughter moments.
Oh
and
yeah,
they're getting to know each other. Yeah,
that was
the flower,
very well paced.
The berry, all the moments where he's being a dad.
Yeah,
and
for all the detractions that I've said against it, it does feel like a tight 90-minute story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't overstay its welcome. Everything seemed to kind of serve a purpose.
Ooh, here's a stupid question. Absolutely fucking stupid question. Favorite
On this
character
podcast? No.
and favorite character, but what character are you in a movie with 4 characters? You know, to make it easier, you can make anything a character.
What character would I be
I'm a
in the I am the poorly timed alarms in the ship.
Okay.
Like it's been pelting rocks on me for a good
Right?
15 minutes. Like, hey, you might want to wake up. I'm in the middle of asteroid field. I don't like it. He gets knocked on the floor. What's going on? I was just saying, asteroid, look out. God.
I'm gonna go with either Jeff the Mantis or Bog Body number 5.
Oh man. I am. I'm one of the pterosaurs or whatever. Just chilling.
Red and
Like,
meth.
like when they landed and she was on the beach with them, one of them almost saw her, but they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" Most of them were just
Yeah, they
hanging
very
out.
much just didn't.
They ate fish, didn't they?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, that's
fair
it.
enough.
little fishing.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, if I was an actual human, like if I was Adam Driver or Cole or whatever, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. Look, I
Yeah,
would have been
I'm
dead
not-
when that bug landed on me.
I don't think
My
I'd have made it through a lot
soul-
of this.
My soul would have left. Like, I think that's exactly how far I would have gotten.
I would have found one of the cryogenic chambers and been like, "Hey, move over." We did.
Go back to sleep.
Oh man. All right.
Man, they better not have cryogenic chambers for real, because I know a lot of people who would straight up be like, "So when I wake up, you'll charge me for this?"
I thought they did, but they didn't know how to
Eight-
defrost people yet.
Like 8,000.
That's what it is. Yeah, we can freeze them and keep them alive, but we can't wake them up fast enough. Yeah.
Gross.
So we're almost halfway there, right?
Sure, let's just call it that. How do you guys feel about ratings for this movie?
I would still recommend this to a person. Like that's my whole thing is if it's good enough to recommend to somebody, that's all I play off of. And I would still recommend it to somebody just as a simple movie to watch, maybe while you're like catching up with somebody you haven't seen in a couple years that's on in the background.
Yeah.
It is not necessarily something that I
I'd
would like be
recommend.
like whole hog like. But now, definitely, if I met somebody that like, I really like Adam Driver as an actor, I'd be like, oh, really?
I really, really like Adam Driver movies where he's just caked in bullshit for an hour and a half straight, and he's really
I think
sad.
he literally touches dinosaur shit at some point, right? And he touches it, and then he like holds it up. He holds his nasty ass hand up to her, and she's like, ugh. Like,
Yeah, he
it's
dads
one
her
of those
again.
moments. Yeah. Did you go, Ren?
Oh, I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna agree with the median between what you mentioned was the critics' response and the viewers' response to this movie. So I'm gonna give it 5 out of 10 Chekhov's guns.
Okay.
Which eventually is actually 7 guns.
I gotta take off 2 then.
There ends up being 2 you didn't even realize because you were like, oh.
Oh no, it came back.
I would buy this movie in the cheap bin. I think it's a perfect Sunday on the couch watch, which is literally how I watched it. I give it I think the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes was 65, which is a 6.5. I would bump it. I agree with the 6.5, but I would bump it up to a 7, which means it's from like decent to good. This is a good movie just because I have a soft spot for the dad aspect of the movie.
It was fun.
It was cute to me. And like I came for Adam Driver versus dinosaurs, but I end up liking Adam Driver and his daughter more.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball, man. They could have had a pet dinosaur.
They really could.
They could have had a pet dinosaur.
And they could have brought it back with them.
Yeah.
But they said, "Nah, we're gonna kill this damn dinosaur."
Set up a sequel where it speaks perfect English through the
Like
only
collar.
through the Game Boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Squirrel.
Oh yeah, just little Charizard. Yeah, I do think I like that it had a happy ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They fly off into like a little beam of light into the distance, and then
There was even a in the beginning he even the first time he says we need to get you up there. Like
Yep.
he was just going to get her off
Yeah.
the planet and still planned to die, and eventually it became a we,
Mhm.
and I thought that was neat. Anyway, but a happy ending.
In the last, like while the credits are playing, you get to see where they were and all the fires and how everything subsided, and eventually like a city arises in its spot, which is North
Yeah.
Carolina, I guess.
Wilmington.
And then yeah, so it was cool that we had that, but it does beg the question, with all the compromises that they had to make with writing,
Well,
why did they have to make it Earth?
oh yeah,
Mhm.
we can't think about that too much. I mean, it could go different ways, but
I
still,
mean, it's very much
there's going to
like
be
Star
holes.
Wars. They don't need to speak English.
Mhm.
It, like at some point, like you just kind of have to.
Just don't make that second language.
What's that weird?
Well, it feels like they obfuscated the
Uh,
information that they gave you by never actually showing like the language that was on the screens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything was too small to read.
Suspension of disbelief is hard when you give someone a second Earth language and say kilometers.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was killing me.
Make up a distance.
I was fine
Football
with
fields.
kilometers. It was this, but
It's
y'all
not-
telling
it's
me
not
that's a
very
real
hard.
language.
It's like 15 chichingis.
Yeah.
Because I
No.
already had it in the back of my head that these
Well,
are
even then,
early.
15.
These are like predecessor humans or whatever. Like they just came back to the planet kind of deal.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, but the thing that really irked me is you telling me that's a real language. Not you telling me, but you know what I mean. That it being a real language, and I was like, come on. But yeah, I can. Other thing is, I can really see how the guys who wrote A Quiet Place wrote this movie, and I bet you they're both dads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I got.
It's a good watch, though. I had fun.
I'm probably not gonna watch it again no time soon, but like I
No.
said, it's an easy Sunday watch. Like you don't feel like you wasted your time, but you're also not gonna tell anybody about it tomorrow at work.
You're not going to see a shadow cast at a convention do this movie, and if they do, kudos to them because they're just that weird.
Oh yeah, After Earth. That's the only thing I haven't mentioned. So my issue with After Earth, not my issue, but I honestly think the crux of it is After Earth had two characters. One was Will Smith, one of the most charismatic people on Earth, being an emotionless man on purpose.
Yeah.
Like that's his character. He has no emotions. And that leaves us with Jaden, who he follows most of the time because Will Smith is injured, by himself being a 13-year-old. And I don't even think he's a bad actor or anything like that because he played an annoying 13-year-old. 13-year-olds can be fucking annoying. And but like nobody wants to see that for 2 hours.
No.
Just an annoying 13-year-old by himself.
That movie could have been a 90-minute.
It needed another character, or at least Will Smith to not be emotionless. Somehow write the script like that. And then like if you had enjoyable characters, After Earth would have been dope, but you had the opposite of enjoyable characters and only two of them. And to me that's the issue with the movie. Yeah. So here they're not like the most enjoyable characters ever, but they were at least enjoyable enough to get us through the movie.
Right.
So
they played the parts well. They didn't do anything opposite of their own like acting nature. They really just kind of sold it.
Yeah. So that's all I got though. Ren?
Yeah.
So plugs?
Oh, same old. You might not see me on Dumpster Fire. I mean Twitter. I mean,
you mean X?
I might not be over there much longer, but I got the Blue Sky. I got the Threads. You come and see what I'm saying weird today. Like maybe it'll be Dower, maybe it'll be Goofy. Haha. Who knows? D&D Sluggers. DDS.
Luggers.
No. I was gonna say I don't have a hive anymore. I just made it DDS. I don't know why I did that. Maybe it's a good thing that I got rid of my hive. But DD Sluggers are anywhere text is available. English only. For
no mistake.
Space English. Space English. I'm sorry.
Spanglish.
Ren?
Thanks to you guys, we have a Blue Sky now for Power Bummer. So
right on.
We're just doing the same old grind. Anybody happens to need some graphic design stuff, we're also going to be working on printing shirts again soon. So Just try to make extra money, I guess, because we live in a capitalist hellhole. So, yeah,
And indeed we do.
same old grind.
The only actual podcast account is still on Twitter at SGBK Podcast, but once again, fuck Twitter.
Wait, what's Twitter?
They changed the
The
app
button.
button to X2, and that just like I wanted to throw my phone when I saw that, because I don't know, I was still lying to myself that like, okay, Twitter is on
It's
fire,
gonna get
it's
better.
going down.
It's gonna get better.
Like not even that it's going to get better, it's just that I can still tolerate it. And then they changed the button, and like I don't even want to push it now, and I'm so angry. But anyway,
it's not on my home screen anymore. I just put the threads one there, and just to in kind of enforce that I do it something different for a while.
I still haven't made the threads, which I said I was going to do last week, and I messed up. But at some point, I'm going to do it, I guess, just to have it. But you can follow me personally at the moment at Tiffron or Tiffzilla, I forgot which is which, on Letterboxd and on Blue Sky.
Hey, just make sure you don't accidentally follow the Tiffzilla Sucks account on Letterboxd.
Look, I'd laugh so hard, and I was like, he's got to be fucking with me. It's just magically there. Just Tiffzilla Sucks.
It's there. They've yet to start reviewing movies though, so there's not a lot of competition to be had.
Look, it's just there, just empty.
Yep.
Tiffzilla Sucks.
They're holding on to that account for when they realize they got to turn on you. You know what I mean? It's like, haha, I got that handle secured.
When the podcast hits off, they'll be like, hey, now I got this.
And I followed them too. They have one follower, it's me. And they got an email saying Tiffzilla followed you, and still nothing. Anyway, yeah.
We'll follow up on that.
Well, that's the show, guys.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us this week as we dodged asteroids and failed to save dinosaurs.
So it's okay. We got an extra daughter out of it. It's cool.
I had a good time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Have a good night.
Goodbye from Neil deGrasse Tyson also.
Pompous son of a bitch.
And Adam Driver. Bye for me too. Goodbye.